Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be technically more than part 2 of the series, but part 2 of what we tried to do the other day. Or probably not the other day, but I'm recording this before I've posted the first video on this, getting the motor installed. So right now it's still the same as it was last video, but I'm just going to do some other stuff whilst I figure it out. So we're going to put on some steering and some hubs with Allen keys in them so they lock on and don't come off. I also bought a program card, so I'll take you through steps to program it. That's not here yet, but cut this video, you'll get it. And then we'll work on the gear in here, so that will be all good. And try and get a better mounting solution for this. I also got to trim out some of the chassis here, so I will be buying a new chassis or making my own one eventually, one day. But for now, this is just kind of a prototype. So first we're going to take off all the wheels. And it will help because I got to pull the diff out eventually. But we'll start off with the steering, because that looks like it's going to be a pain to get to. So we've got the wheels off. So the original ones are the exact same design, but in purple to match the body. But as well, they come with hex screws, so I can get them tightened down better than these Phillips heads, because they just seem to strip and they will not come off. These already seem pretty tight on there, but I just, why not? But those will go on last, because we got this to throw on. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to very tightly, or you're going to have to pop this off here, pop that off, and then you can either get a wrench or a socket, and you can use a drill and pull it off, or just have to use the included wrench that comes with these cars. I will be using a socket because it's taken me forever to do it with a wrench. But then you got to pull 2 screws here, and then see how janky this is, because the original servo horn was very crappy, so I changed it to this one. But it just comes off like that. So I guess normally you'd have to pull the whole servo out and then do it. I've already done, but I'll get back to you after I've pulled the whole system out. So here's the old system versus the new system. It's a lot more, you can feel it's a bit more sturdy. The joints are a lot better. So when you normally move the wheel, and when the servo's stiff, you can still have the movement. Hopefully this has taken all the play out of it. I've also got some sealed bearings somewhere. I'll find those later. But I bought a whole sealed bearing kit, so these require 4 bearings in total. So 1 on the bottom, 2 on the bottom, and then 2 on the top. So I put my 2 sealed bearings on top, and then just run these ones on the bottom if they fit. And I'll get back to you once I've installed it. Put this in the car, and I'll show you how to set up the linkages onto your arms. So slight issue with this, because most of these upgrades are for the tt01, the less adjustable car. These are supposed to be upgrades, so since we already had adjustable ones, not many people gave it upgrades, even though this is not that advanced. This is for the tt01, and normally it has pillars that go straight up. This one does not, because the tt01 has a whole brace that goes across the chassis, because this one was not designed for bashing like what we're doing now. But it normally slots on down these posts, and then a screw will go around it. So what I'm going to have to do is find the diameter of the bushing part here, and then the diameter of this bearing, which should be like 5mm I assume, and then make a bushing, 3D print it, so that sits on this and sits in there. And since it's a bushing in the bearing, it shouldn't affect too much. So as long as we don't press it and wreck the bearing, because these bearings are small, it'll be fine. But other than that, we're gonna have to wait, because I didn't bring my laptop, so we'll just install our hexes. Time for a quick lunch break. So we've got the old one off. That's our sealed bearings in there. slightly blue tinge to it. You can see the little rubber casing on the outside. That's the hex. I find that metal hexes are very important for high speed or high power cars because plastic hexes just strip and twist off and then they just melt on. Metal, always good, and they don't really fuse to your rim too much. But here's our other ones. So they're both 5mm. So that should just slide on there. Goes on, and then you get an Allen key and tighten that up, and that shouldn't come off. So if you've ever had issues where these ones don't because, or these used to because they had the Phillips head and you couldn't get them tight, but you could, they would come in your rim and you have to get a screwdriver and pry them out and either damage your rims or damage your hexes. So this should be a good alternative. So like everything else, this will have to be another change of plans. These hex screws that go into it, they're too big, so when you fully tighten them up, the rim will touch on the side and won't fully seat. So hopefully, I'm hoping these screws right here, this is the old one here, so hopefully the new ones are better quality. So I'm gonna have to stick with the new ones. The new ones are also countersunk flatheads, so hopefully they'll be fine. Or I've just wasted my money kinda. I could have just left these, but oh well. So we have our steering installed. I've hooked it up to here. I'm just going to tighten it down, turn on the car and trim out the steering so it's straight, and then we'll see how it's adjusted here. That's out. You can adjust this turnbuckle to straighten it up. Then you want to maybe get a ruler or calipers. These are calipers here, and find the distance between these two, and you want them to be exactly the same. And if you want your car to have more outward toe, so that means your wheels are going like this, more outwards, then you got to wind it in. And if you want them to go in, you just wind it outwards. So you want to have, so when you want inward toe, you get more stability, straight line stability. I'm pretty sure if you want outward toe, you get like more handling, I don't know, a bit more oversteer, a bit more sharper. You'll have to Google it, but you can correct me in the comments, but that's what I think it is. So after that, we put in some screws into here. I have put some, normally they don't come out but with it, but I put threaded inserts in. So, because I'm pretty sure they're already stripped. So other than that, we'll just get to it. So I think we have a little bit of outwards toe. When I get the programmer, I can bump up the servo voltage. This servo is a low voltage servo, but I don't really care, so. Then the only play that we have is in the bushings up here. So when we go for some racing top arms, the adjustable ones, so I can adjust the camber, that should be going, and maybe some metal hubs, because these are a bit janky with threaded inserts, heat inserts. But other than that, it won't. Before it was a bit more like this, so this is me forcing it. You can see the whole. But that's stiff enough for the steering to stay straight on high speed runs. So a lot better than this, but a little bit more weight, but a lot more reward. So we're back to the car with the drivetrain. I have assembled it with the new pinion after a few tries. So I've put my almost done, and we've chipped a tooth because we've just put too much power down. So we're gonna have to print up another one. And eventually out of A.T.S or my carbon fiber PET G. Probably A.T.S first. I did find that there was some rubbish from the spur gear to the top, so I'm going to try and move it forward a little bit more because we got tons of room to play with, as you can see on the gear. So hopefully that will stop our rubbish, and then we'll see how that goes. Then hopefully put on some A.T.S, and then that might be our part. Alright, so I've got the car back together. I've got it working as best as I can with what I have. So I've decided to use, so this is what we did. I've already put it back together, but this is the design. It'll be on my Maker World for you guys if anyone wants to do a Mod 1 conversion, which I don't think you should do, but it's there if you want it. But I need to get this made out of metal, the gear made out of metal here. But I've got this made out of ABS, and I think it's already stripped again. So this motor is very powerful, so I did think Mod 1 would be a bit stronger, but with the powerful motor we have here, I have it on level 5 punch and no timing, so it's not too strenuous, so it's not going to give it a big kick. But when you do slam the throttle down to try and get some drifts out, and this is just on some polished concrete, so not that grippy, so especially on the tarmac, it's going to definitely strip once you put some power down. So I might need to get this CNC'd or 3D printed out of metal. So that's all we can do for this video. We'll have some more driving, and actually in this video I'm going to design a new ESC mounting plate so that we have somewhere to mount our ESC with the hobbywing mounting points. So we'll have that in this video. I've just decided just then that we're doing it this video. So other than that, we'll get to working on it, and that'll be it for the video. Here, that's just playing the hub. So with our new links, there's a bit of play there, but not as much as before. Before it was like a lot more than that, but we'll get back to designing. Alright, so after some more trial and error, I've made my custom ESC bracket. This is one of the final prototypes. It's just warped, so I have to make another one. But that's all it is. It's got the hobbywing mounting plates. You can use it for stock. The original mounting plate is in my pocket. So they're the same, they mount the same with the same screw holes. I will be making an online file for this on Maker World, as well as a template for the hobbywing mounting holes. So when you want to try and make your own bracket for other cars, you've got your holes already done. So I think now we'll put the cover back on. I think because I got these ABS gears in there, so this should drive alright. I don't think it's going to drive to the best, but we don't have any more ESC coming out, so we can actually drive it without having to go grab the ESC every time it falls out. We have it going, so I thought about it, and I think the next part that's to go out on this car is probably the diffs and the plastic drive cups for the center drive shafts. The good thing with the battery in this, the ovonic battery, is that I've had like over 5 test runs with it, and it's still been perfectly. It still drives fine. It'll probably die maybe this run, but other than that, it still makes that sound. I don't know why. I honestly think that might be my diff. So I might. If you know if tt02 diffs fit in this, please tell me in the comments. I really want to find out. It's better than the first video. It's either my ABS gear or my diffs, so I know the rear diff gear looks like it's going out. I haven't checked the front because I haven't pulled the front apart in ages. But when I look at the rear diff gear, it looks very worn out. So that's probably it. I also need to glue these tyres on because they just keep coming off. Can't wait till it's all ready to go full throttle on the road. I do want to know how much of an upgrade this car is, because I don't know about the gearing, so I kind of winged the gearing. So we'll have to see. And the thing is, if it's too slow, then we'll just put 4S to it. That's just easier than changing the gearing up. I'm pretty sure I can, because I've put it at the smallest gearing on this motor. So when you normally have the gearing stock, this is the smallest it can go. So on a 61 spur gear, this would be 19 teeth. So I can go up maybe a few more teeth, which should get me a little bit more. And I can also go, depending on how much torque this motor has before it cogs, I can even drop the size of the spur gear. So we can increase the pinion size or drop the spur gear. Dropping the spur gear would probably be easier for now because it's 3D printed. But eventually, if I get it custom machined out of like steel, whatever, then it would be harder to change it because I'm going to have to go get a new one custom made. So I'd be better off getting a few of them made, maybe, depending on the price, because the custom machining of gears is expensive. And I will have some more nitro content coming out soon. I was planning to do an e-start kit for it, so I'm still working on that behind the scenes. If it works, I'll do a video. If it doesn't, I will still do a video, but show you the progress. So I have already started, but I'm just in prototyping. The brakes are good. I was trying to print the bracket out of A.T.S last night, but I kept having it lift because it was really cold. I think the air temperature inside was like 11 degrees in my shed. So very cold, so I did not want to stick at all. If I had a cardboard box big enough, I probably would have put that around it. But for now, I don't think the ESC plate needs to be made out of ABS. When I open up my carbon fiber PTG, I will use that to remake a lot of parts on this car. But by the end of this, the time this video is out, I'll have all the parts in this video that I made, so the spur gear and the ESC mount. They'll all be out for you to be able to use in your own builds. So if you want to go down the dangerous path of going mod 1, you can do that with the help of this. But you can also go mod 1 with the original motor. You just got to get a spacer for mod 1 gearing on your motor. It changes the shaft size from 3.3mm or something to 5mm, so you can still run that mod 1 gearing. But for anyone that's not pushing like hard power, like the original setup I had, the 80 amp and the 3300 kV, stock gearing was alright. It was still strict, but if you've got any tips or any questions, feel free to leave in the comments. Other than that, that'll probably be the end of this video. So this car is almost done. There's just a few little other parts that I changed, like the diff cups, the diffs maybe, if you know that the tt01 available. Bit more strengthening, maybe play with some adjustment in the toe. But other than that, this car's riding pretty mint. So if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. If you want to follow, just keep watching more videos, I guess. Other than that, thanks for watching.